Namaskaram everyone. It's Mahashivratri Sadhana day 2 and I haven't filmed for a little while and literally because I couldn't yesterday. Yes, I had what you might call a transformational morning yesterday for lots of reasons, and I'll speak a little bit about that. And one of the first things is my rudrash. So my necklace here, it was the first time yesterday that it felt strange taking it off. I felt like it had its own energy and its own force, and it felt really weird taking it off. And most mornings I take it off to do my practice, because when I'm bending over and going forwards, this comes off my head and somehow ends up on the floor, and it can kind of get in the way and be a bit annoying and disruptive, and you know, it's hanging off my my bun, or you know, so I usually take it off, but yesterday for some reason it felt really important to keep it on, so I did. And today I put a little knot in it here, which probably I shouldn't be doing, but I put a gentle knot in it and it was a lot shorter so it couldn't come off my head. Yeah. So the last video I made, I was talking about a kind of limitation or a barrier that I had, and I knew it was there so vividly, and it was time to kind of do something about it. And I thank my friend Nicola, who I went to go and see that evening for dinner, and I said, I think you're going to have to be my therapist tonight. And it didn't take very long. Literally, we kind of got down to the nitty-gritty really fast, and she said a few things, and then like, you know, my realisation came very quickly, and I was like, yeah, that makes so much sense. And then I literally just cried really easily in front of her. I was able to, and just kind of release it. Not for very long, I didn't need to cry for very long, and it was over. And I think the main thing that I was crying about was just the sadness that, I mean, I was putting... Hang on a minute. Sorry, my mum just needed to speak to me a second. Yeah, it was just, I was feeling a sadness for one particular person, but I suppose it goes for everyone who's not feeling bliss and not happy and not joyful, or, yeah, just absolute sadness that people are happy to stay unhappy. They're either can't see a way forward, or they're not on this kind of path that, you know, path of happiness, or whatever you want to call it. And I just felt intensely sad about that. But then, after an amazing dinner and lots of delicious raw food, and lots more amazing chats about yoga, because my friend had just been to India, and she told me about lots of amazing spiritual things that had been happening within her life, and it opened my eyes a little bit to some things that I hadn't really thought about or realised was possible. So that was really eye-opening. And then going to pick up my daughter after she'd had dinner with her friend, that drive back, which was maybe 20 minutes long, 25 minutes long, in the dark, I was just smiling, laughing out loud, chanting Om Namah Shivaya. It just felt right just to sing that and chant that, and the whole time it was just like, yeah. So that was amazing. And then the next morning, doing my sadhana, again something really changed, and everything was going as normal really, with the chants and the Mahashivratri, you know, movements, 12 movements, and the chant at the end. And then it got to me doing the kind of butterfly movement with my legs, and then it was just, I don't know, I was feeling totally kind of open and totally free and absolutely no dis-ease, totally at ease. And I could feel that my legs were going down much further than they normally would. Like, you know, there was absolutely nothing stopping them. And then everything just kind of opened up and released and let go, and I was just crying like I hadn't cried like that before, and it was just like this total just there's no way to say it, but the only thing that I was thinking of was Robin and Heidi, and they just keep coming to my mind. Robin and Heidi, and Robin and Heidi, and Robin and Heidi, and my husband and my daughter, my husband and my daughter. And it was really weird. There was just kind of like this feeling that I was going away somewhere, and I had to do it on my own. And it still makes me emotional because it's difficult. And I think what it is, it's that kind of just kind of saying goodbye to your ego and saying goodbye to the things that you're hanging on to. And if you're on the spiritual path, you can't hang on to anything. You can't hold on to anything. Even with kind of all the love that you have for those things that are just so important to you in your life, you have to let go of that. And it's not that, I'm sure that in the future or right now, you know, I still love them intensely. It's not that I won't love them. It's just that what I'm going through, there has to be a kind of change within that experience, or within the way that you go about life with these relationships and these bonds and these links and these ties that you have with things that are important to you. And it was just yeah, afterwards I was sitting on the sofa, because literally I was paralysed. I could not move, and I was just sitting there in my cross-legged position, feeling completely kind of grounded and solid and like glued, like a magnetic something attaching me there to the floor. And I could just about crawl after a while, and I had to get Heidi, she came in, I had to get her to get me a glass of water, just to kind of bring me back down again. And a tissue. I blew my nose quite a lot, and I rang Robin, my husband, and I said, look, I really want you to come home today. We discussed it, and he didn't come back yesterday, but by the end of my telephone conversation with him, I was able to stand up and walk around. I was still feeling very strange, but I could. And it's almost a tiny bit like a panic attack that I've had in the past, where it's just so, it sucks you and it's so draining that you've kind of lost any energy that you have inside. And he was just amazing and saying the sweetest, most gorgeous things that any person can say. And I was like, that's why I love you. You are amazing. And I just felt so pleased that I had him in my life. And then I went and sat on the sofa with Heidi, and she was watching Octonauts. And it was just like I was sitting there and watching this big TV screen, and everything just looked different. like I was looking at it from a different perspective, and I don't know, it was almost a little bit surreal, and the colours are so bright and everything was kind of crisp and sharp, and I could feel things and the sensations were much more intense, and my love towards Heidi was really strong, and I was like, you know, I was also just laughing so easily with her, and the programme was actually really funny. It was all set under the sea, and then I spent some of the day, quite a lot of the day, walking outside into town, back from town, going to meet someone else to get the wedding shoes that I was going to wear, and just being, it was very windy yesterday, just being in the outdoors, being in the elements, and just kind of, yeah, just this kind of new perspective, and but also the same in the physical sensations I was having was, I just felt very straight, very upright, very aligned, very equanimous. That word equanimous has been coming back to me. Totally equal on both sides, and how in the mountain pose you feel that, but I think that with yoga, I think when you get to that place of bliss or enlightenment, whatever pose you're in, whatever kind of movement you're doing, or whatever position you're in, you feel equanimous. There is nothing pulling you in any other direction. And with the my sadhana this morning, I could feel that there's so much less blocking me in a physical way, and I could literally just do a little movement here and there with my neck and maybe somewhere else in my body, but not in very many places, and it would just release very easily and very quickly. So I feel like yeah, this change in this movement is going to be continuingly happening, and it'll probably be quite rapid, you know, if I continue with every morning doing my sadhana and my practice. The only way is up. The only way is bliss. There's no other direction you can go in. And it makes sense, you know, if I were to stop my yoga, then obviously you're not going in an upward direction with any progress or movement. But if you continue, it's just bound to happen. There's just no other way. So, you know, I don't know how long it's going to take, but I feel like within a number of weeks or months, you know, I could be there. If I keep on with being quite, you know, devoted to my practice and devoted to what I'm doing, then, you know, that's it. So I guess the thing is, yeah, I'm here doing it in my room, wherever I am, or, you know, moving around. I feel like it's very intense, and I do feel like I need support a bit with what's going on. Like, I don't feel like I should be doing this on my own, and I think that's what a guru is, or you know, Isha Foundation. That's what they can do for a person, is give you guidance through this time, and show you the way, basically, because, you know, for me it's uncharted territory and I don't have a map, and he's my guru positioning system, my GPS, and yeah, so I feel like I need to be in touch with more Isha people that have been through what I'm going through, so that I can ask them questions if I need to and get support when I need to. Yeah, I've been told we have to go and meet some more people, so I need to round this up. But I hope that Mahashivratri Day 2 has been interesting for you, and that tomorrow is going to be, I think, a transformational evening, and I can't wait to go on the live web stream and be connected directly to India, and listen to all the music, listen to Sadhguru talking about what he thinks is important at that time, and doing the meditation with him and all the millions of people that will be doing it there in India, and all the more millions of people that will be doing it around the world. and all the people that aren't with Isha Foundation that are doing yoga and are celebrating Mahashivratri, the darkest night, with the rest of the cosmos. Namaskaram. Bye bye.